millimeters of the ring so that the thickness would be neglected. So, and I also made some corrections for the distortion of the camera, since the camera only reads the angle and not the actual displacement of the ring. I used these following methods to make sure that the ring, that I have the actual displacement of the ring, not the angle. So using these correction methods, I could calculate the center of mass. I could experimentally observe.
Iran,
伊朗
1.
1号。
The logo is at the center of the outline of the Singapore map. Throughout the history, science, technology, and creative innovation have always been the key of Singapore's development and progress. A silhouette of the famous Singapore icon, the Merlion, replaced the I in the word Singapore. This amazing creature is an important part of the Singapore identity. The two knights confronting each other represent the spirit of the physics fight in IYPT.
to have loads of parameters that we could not include in the presentation because that would be yes. What exactly?
So that the material that you was copper
Aluminum.
or aluminum. So it was diamagnetic.
Yes.
And what's the difference between is there even a difference in different types of non-magnetic materials that you use?
Now, if you use, for example, steel, it's going to stick to the electromagnet, and nothing's going to happen.
I said non-magnetic.
Oh, well, the resistance is going to be very crucial because.
But the ratios are the same with copper.
What do you mean?
I can understand. You see, all the ingredients of the field are interacting with each other. So when it's even a small part of a field is moving, the movement will be spread out.
Please show me our experiments.
Like this. Well, I'm now going to start my theory around the initial observations that it has. Well, first when my jet is coming through my soap film, it wants to get to the downer level of my soap film. Okay, we have another that's very
Actually, I do know the name of this bridge.
signboard.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear it maybe in your presentation.
Yes, but I wanted you to ask it after that.
Just maybe explain me these coefficients with Girard. It means I suppose that G is a gravitational acceleration.
Yes, of course.
L would be the
L is the length of each of the pendulum, and lambda actually is the mass of D. It is the mass of each.
Yes, for example, if I put a bridge here, I put glue here.
Okay, to the opponent and reviewer, do you agree this is a good method for testing the strength of the bridge? Gluing it to the sides. It is a good representation of the strength of the bridge.
Maybe it will have some influence if it is better for a given estimate
yes, the elasticity of the pole itself, the properties, all of the properties of the liquid, and the and the positions of each
do you
part.
consider the water and the surface of the liquid to be important at all? How that looks?
Excuse me,
Do you consider the surface of the liquid at the collision? Do you consider that important at all?
yes, it is
To
very
what
important.
extent?
Yes, it is
Very
very important and very effective because it gives.
Here, we call this the International Young Physicists Award. The real one true physicist is this one. And this is verified by the Nobel Prize. So we have somebody authentic that is a physicist. But he's a very humorous guy. I didn't quite catch it. He says if you want to win the Nobel Prize, what is it you have to do? You have to work 15 years?
No, you have to pursue knowledge about science and love every minute of it. And then if you're lucky, maybe you'll get a Nobel Prize.
Wonderful. You have to get the Nobel Prize. Enjoy working for how many years?
We like the sequence of going two guys out there. I appreciate the efforts of both of you. I'm sure I will most folks. I'm looking forward to it.
For example, velocity, we measured the angular velocity but not have a call in here. So I believe that the friction, we are talking, as I said before many times, we're talking about before the impact, after the impact, and our measurements of our theory are somehow like modeled as others have modeled this phenomenon using this somehow the same equipment. Our number I think is somehow more accurate.
I have to be frank. But I
I'm going to have the most ultimately opponent for the discussion. I'm Emily Australia from National Tomorrow and I'm the reviewer of the problem number 2, Crossing the Air. So let's again have a look at the question and to clarify some points. The question says when a piece of thread like an alloy is wound around with a small mass attached to its free end, a descending noise is emitted. Study the origin of this noise and the relevant parameters. So in the different part of the question we're going to talk about the different ways of investigating something. First, we have to investigate the origin of this sound, and then we'll talk about the relevant parameters. The report says mention some parameters, but I think some parameters were missed that I always like to talk about it in my presentation. But the reported analysis, first of all, the positive point. To talk about the relevant parameters and define them, I think it was good for having the physical explanation of everything. With experimental approach, I got the whole experimental approach, and I think it was great enough. And
the coefficient of restitution of, first of all, that was the entering angle, the entering velocity that the goldfall has as it is entering the hole. So the coefficient of restitution has not played its part yet in our experiments. And about the measurements of coefficient of restitution, we dropped the golf ball from the distance of 1 meter on our experimental setup, and we measured the coefficient of restitution. But in our experimental data that are